So at the end of each edge of the bow, what you're going to do is you're going to put a small incision, like so, for the string to go on. Now you want to make sure that you don't cut too high up and not too low, because then you're going to either make the bow more vulnerable to breaking, or it's not going to have enough draw length. So you're going to want to make sure you also put it on an angle like so. So if I put it this way, you can see it's kind of angled. That way it's harder for the string to slip off. Make sure it's not too deep, because then you're going to make the bow weaker, but make sure it's fairly decent enough to hold the string just nicely, like so. And at the edges too, I also suggest at the very edges of the wood, a small cut like that. That'll help greatly with all that. So now we've got the basic form of the bow. Now it's time to start tillering the bow. So what we're going to do is just attach the string onto the bow. Just crush it. It's pretty cool. So what I'm basically doing is just grabbing the string, attaching it to another one. So. No. Pressure. So now we are going to build our arrow. So we're looking for a type of plant called mullein, like this. It's often found in fields, very distinct. It's got these kind of like flower pods at the very top. During the summer, there's yellow flowers from this, seeds. Now, during the fall and winter, they kind of turn brownish and then blackish as they start dying. They're all green during the summer. And make sure that you don't use any green ones, because green ones are very flexible. Once they've turned brown, they're going to be very hard, and they're going to make really good arrows. So here we have the mullein. We're at our workstation, and with our knife, we're just going to lightly take the leaves away. We're also going to take the flowers away at the very top. So this can just be done by taking your knife and just drawing it across. Make sure you don't harm the wood, the outer wood part, because that's really going to affect your durability of the arrow and strength. So now that I'm here, I'm gonna grab. So I've sharpened up one end. Now I'm gonna grab the other end, and I'm gonna kind of make like a notch. This notch will let me put the string on it. So just kind of this small notch like so. You can also grab a file and make the notch using the file. Put it in the notch. Just rub it, and this will make you a really nice notch. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the feathers. So here I have my bow that I'm just going to put my feather on. So I have my feather like so. As you can see, pretty interesting feather pattern. I'm just going to place it right here. So to attach the feathers to the arrow, what we're going to use is yarn. Now this is pretty much the knitting yarn. So this is the yarn that you use to knit. So just do a basic knot at one end of the arrow. So we've just attached the yarn to here. Now what we're going to do is just place one feather, like so, at the very tip like this, one tip like so. Now, with the yarn, we're just going to start wrapping it slowly around, like so. Slowly work your way up. Split it open. Yeah, like so. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tiller the bow. Now tillering the bow is pretty much bending both limbs and seeing how they bend. Now ideally you want a limb that completely curves as it bends. What you don't want is a limb that kind of bends on one side and then it hinges off and bends on the other wing. So you want a nice even curve all throughout the bow. Now this will distribute the tension and compression all throughout the bow, which will make it less likely to break. So this is the main component of bow making, especially if you want a durable bow that's not going to break. So make sure you take your time with tillering and do it properly. Now the method that I'm going to use is I'm going to attach a string to both ends of the bow. So I'm going to put a kind of branch on the bottom, and I'm going to pull them down. And this will pull both limbs downwards, and from a distance, I'll be able to see how it bends. Now, if you don't have a branch underneath, you can just put another string around the tree, put the string underneath the branch. So pretty much what happens when I pull on this string, it pulls on this string, which pretty much draws the bow. Slowly but surely, it draws the bow. So now I can see how it bends. So now we're just going to hand tiller the bow, bring it here, bend it. We're looking for nice, evenly bent limbs. This one is bending a bit too much on a hinge, so we're going to cut this area a bit down. So here I have the finished bow and arrow. Just going to start by stringing the bow. So there we go. Stringed it. Look at this. This is bad. Arrow in, down the middle like so, put it in the notch, drawing through. So, this definitely isn't the best bow in the world, but it's a good beginner bow. And I definitely hope I gave you a bit of motivation to start lawyering yourself, because it's a really fun thing to do, and it could be really useful. If you guys have any comments, any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.